Hi guys, I'm back. Been a while since I've filmed, but today I'm going to be filming my drugstore foundation routine. So about 98, 97, 95% of the products I'm using today are drugstore except for 3 things. So yeah, if you want to know how to get this kind of face, then just keep watching. Alright, so I always start off with not priming my lips, but like prepping my lips with some sort of chapstick. So there's that. Next, I'm gonna go in with this mattifying primer I got in an Ipsy bag. This is, I think, the only non-drugstore item I'm going to be using today. Besides one other thing, but that other thing is pretty affordable too. So I'm just going to take a small amount of that, put it into my T-zone area, pat it in there. You always want to make sure to let your primer set for a little bit, so just wait a couple seconds, let it sink in. And today I'm going to go in with my favorite drugstore foundation of all time. It is the Maybelline Matte Fit Me. I use the shade 310 Sun Beige. Freaking love this foundation. And I'm going to be going in with my e.l.f. little blending brush here. It's a little dirty. Oops. I have about that much. Just going to dip my brush directly into there and go in. I usually start in my cheek area and work my way out and in. Drag it down the neck, of course. Same thing on the other side, starting on the other cheek. Now, the amount I put out onto my hand was usually enough for me, but I already used it all up and I've only got the bottom half of my face done. I don't like to put a lot of foundation on my forehead, so I usually just take what's left on my brush because my forehead doesn't usually need as much coverage as my cheeks do, so I just take what's left on there. Try to get what's left on the back of my hand and just work my brush into my forehead. As you can see, I still got a little bit of foundation off of that. The reason I do this is because I feel like my forehead cakes up the easiest, so I like to put the least amount of product on my forehead. Just want to make sure I got every part of my face. Debating if I should go in with more product. I think we're okay. Alright, so next I like to go in with my NYX HD Concealer. I have it in the shade medium. There it is right there. Almost out of this thing. And I typically go in with the same brush I used for my foundation, so I just like to go under the eyes. Notice how I'm not putting it directly under my eye. I leave a little bit of room under, and then I work my way closer to my lash line from there. I also like to highlight with this a little bit, so down the bridge of the nose, forehead, chin area. Just so everything's balanced out, and I look crazy, but alright, just pat that in. Notice how I'm patting and not buffing. I feel like this keeps the product right where I want it, and gives me the most coverage I can get out of what I'm using. Alright, now going under the eyes. Get right up in there. This brush is pretty big. Should have thought this through, but whatever. Making it happen. Alright, now the other side. Gonna go in with, this is the only other non-drugstore item I'm going to be using today. It's my Nye Banana Powder. But like I said, this is also pretty affordable too, so it's not like it's high-end or anything. And using an e.l.f. blush brush, a well-loved e.l.f. blush brush, I'm going to just set my under eyes. Now how I set my under eyes is I have that much product on my brush, and before I go in and set it, I pat the product in one last time. Make sure there's no creasing. That has already happened, and I just go right in and set. Same thing on the other eye. That much product. And set. And I take what's left of my banana powder, just set everywhere else I highlighted. Now that that's all done, I'm gonna go set the rest of my face using another well-loved brush. It's my e.l.f. powder brush. Ignore how disgusting and dirty my brushes are, please. I'm using the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder. Have it in the shade Naturally Beige. And I hate products with these little sifters. I even only took off half of the cover and it's still a hot mess in here. So swirl my brush in there. And I usually set right here, focus most of the product right there initially, because that's where I blend out my bronzer, blush, highlight. So I want that to be the most easiest to blend area on my face. Drag it down the neck. Alright, same thing on the other side. Whoa, that's a lot. Okay. So right here is where I first place it. Drag it down, work it into my forehead. Totally just jabbed my eye with the brush. Alright, face is set. Next, I like to go in with bronzer. Physicians Formula Bronze Booster in the shade medium to dark. And my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. Now this is actually a foundation brush, but I love it for bronzering, contouring. I don't contour, I bronze / contour, if that makes sense. So, just gonna swirl my brush into the bronzer, tap off the excess, and do a little kissy face. Focusing the product closest to right here-ish, and then blend it out. Drag it to my temples, sides of my forehead, drag it down my jaw. Same thing on the other side, real quick. I like to stop right at the corner of my eye, right here, so right there. Drag it up my temple and side of forehead again. This brush is perfect for doing this because it's perfect for blending and placement. Next, I like to go in with highlight, not blush. So, using my Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighting powder in the shade Precious Petals and my Real Techniques setting brush. Freaking love this for a highlighting brush. Just gonna go into there, place it on the tops of my cheekbones. I also like to drag it up here a little bit. Tip of my nose. Build it up, cause it be like that with highlights. Am I right or am I right? Get the top of my lids a little bit. Gonna go in with my blush now, which is the Wet n Wild ApriCot in the middle, using my, this is actually the only other last non-drugstore thing I'm using. It's a Luxie 504 large angled brush. Tap it and knock off the excess because I hate going overboard with blush. So just place it right in the middle of where we place that bronzer and highlight. So do a little one of these, starting right here. I like to do it in this kind of motion, like, I don't know what you call that. But yeah, I like to do bronzer, then highlight, then blush, because placing the blush in the middle just acts as another blender for our whole area right here. This will just help blend everything out further. That's what I'm saying. Face is done, I believe, right? Yeah. Okay, going in with lips today, I'm using the Revlon Creme Super Lustrous lipstick in Mink right there. Beautiful shade. Freaking love this color. Let's put that on. My kind of shade right here. Is that the lip I want to wear with this look? Yes, yes, yes it is. Alright, and last but not least, we're gonna set our face. Today I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Extender Setting Spray, which is this right here. Shake that up and just go in. On some Jeffree Star shit. Nah, I'm not gonna go any more than that. That's a lot. And yes, people, this is how I do my face. Alright, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, thanks. These are always so awkward for me, so bye.